All across the web, in forums, videos, Steam reviews and the like, the attitude towards Insurgency has always been very positive when it is exposed to gamers. The challenge that faced the original release of Insurgency in 2014 was actually getting those eyeballs in the first place. Through word of mouth, Insurgency managed to sell well over 3 million copies. No small feat. From what I've seen of the sequel so far, Insurgency Sandstorm seems to be shaping up to be another great entry into the franchise. The developer New World Interactive appears to have decided to focus most of their resources into creating the game itself, and their marketing budget for this game seems to be very limited and thus is facing the same challenges that the first game did. With this situation in mind, how on earth will the sequel attract a lot of attention with a practically non-existent marketing budget? The answer: console graphics options.
Say what now?
There's a few ways in how New World could choose to market their game, but one I feel could be an effective strategy is an implementation of a highly robust suite of video options in the console versions of Sandstorm. There's a real opportunity to tap into what is a relatively new form of exposure that has been developing a healthy viewer base over the past few years, being video game technical analysis, specifically console game analysis. Comparison videos tend to be quite popular anyway, and graphical comparisons of console versions are some of the most popular, garnering hundreds of thousands of views per video, if not more. A good example of this is a game called Star Ocean 4. If you have never heard of this game before, I could forgive you, for I too had never heard of it previous to popular tech channels such as Digital Foundry covering it. So why was this niche Japanese game even covered? With the re-release of Star Ocean 4 on PS4 and PS4 Pro, the developers implemented a suite of graphics options for the console versions similar to what you would find on a PC port. To us PC gamers, this looks like a pretty modest graphics menu, maybe even underwhelming by modern PC standards. But for consoles, this is an unbelievable amount of options. Despite being a niche title, the video garnered 75,000 hits and had over a 95% positive rating. If you take a look at the comments, pretty much the entirety of the top rated ones are all people asking for the same thing, for more developers to include a healthy amount of graphics options in their games. Simply searching for Star Ocean 4 in YouTube, this very article is number 2 in the list. The video has already pretty good ratings, especially when you consider that this is a niche Japanese title being shown to a Western audience. Considering that the flavour of the year for shooters at the moment is the whole boots on the ground concept, a design which Insurgency has at its core. In addition to the fact that Insurgency already has a generally more mainstream appeal, I think it has a lot going for it in this regard. Thinking far out into the future, there's a good chance that Microsoft, and maybe Sony too, will likely have backwards compatibility for the current consoles with the next generation, as it makes a lot of sense to stick with the AMD CPU and GPU design going forward, and build off it using new technologies such as the new Vega GPU and Ryzen CPU architectures, which are already in PCs today. If this turns out to be the case, and having backwards compatibility work in a similar way to how it does now with the Xbox One, which I don't see why it wouldn't, then having customizable graphics, but most importantly, customizable framerate options, will help future-proof the game, and having Tech Press revisit the game years into the future when the newer hardware drops. The way I see it, you've got a developer with a lot of its budget invested in the development of the game, implementing a feature set that not only benefits the game, but that gamers deeply want, in addition to it being a great opportunity for the game that already has decent mainstream appeal to be thrusted into the eyes of millions because of a unique and sought after feature which many in the tech press always love to write stories about, could just work. And I'm sure you can figure out the rest. Hello. There is a guy called Nullate who has been a Patreon subscriber of mine for many months now. He started off paying $10 a while ago, and then in the last few months he doubled that to $20. The first time he donated $10 a month kind of blew my mind. I never thought my content would be worth that much to somebody, and then he went and doubled it. So Nullate, if you're watching this, I think you're pretty badass, and I really do appreciate your support. It really helps the channel. With that said, take it easy chaps, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.